Canada, I told you 2 months ago you were going to re-elect Carney, and now you've done it. You fought for years to get rid of the Liberal Party. You fought so hard to get rid of Trudeau. You were finally able to do it, and now you elected a person that Trudeau personally picked. A person who is even more liberal than Trudeau, has more sights on liberal spending than Trudeau ever did. Oh, and the fucking dude hasn't even lived in your country in the last decade. You are about to have an Irish citizen as your prime minister. A citizen of Ireland is now about to be in charge of Canada. A liberal chosen by the guy you fought for years to remove from office. And that's who you voted for. I'm going to be real with y'all Canadians. I don't want to hear shit from anyone up there. I don't want to hear about how you want to improve your lives or you want to improve your government. I don't want to hear any of that. I legitimately am done listening to any of you tell me how you're trying to live better lives or you're trying to have a conservative leader or you're trying to stop wasting your money. Because everything you did tonight shows me, no, you don't. Enjoy your European prime minister. You voted for him.
All right, Canada, this is just a message for you, and I can't get any more simpler than this. You have to look at the big picture, okay? You have to connect the dots, okay? Justin Trudeau was failing Canada, and he was going to step down, and before he did that, he handpicks a non-elected official so that he can't be questioned in Parliament. He handpicks Mark Carney. Okay. Now, who is Mark Carney? He built a career and a lifetime on pushing carbon tax and net zero, green energy. Okay. So now when Justin Trudeau steps down, they make him party leader, which makes him prime minister elect. So once he's prime minister elect, he has to work to get those numbers back to the Liberals because they're going to be devastated in the next election. So what does he do? He looks over to the Conservative Party. All of the initiatives that the Liberal Party has blocked and slandered and whatever for the last 10 years, they reversed them. So they now stop the carbon tax. They stop capital gains tax. They open oil and gas, and they want to build pipelines. They open interprovincial trade barriers for provinces. Right? And now they're going to cut the GST on new homes. These are all initiatives that Pierre Poilievre has been fighting for 10 years, and they know that's what people want, so they plagiarize it and copy it. They don't have a platform. And then on top of that, they're pushing and fighting for a tariff war. You notice how the number one item in polls is for concern for Canadians is the tariff war. Well, they want that tariff war. Why? Because it's going to devastate Canada's economy. And by devastating an economy, they can push for an economist prime minister. Do you understand what they're doing here? Why are you guys so blind that you can't see it? It's unbelievable.
Canadians elected Mark Carney on two false premises. One, that he would be the man to stand up to Donald Trump. Two, that he is a businessman who can fix the Canadian economy. When what you were promised by his campaign is more debt and a Liberal government that has enacted counter tariffs, which really should only exist to try to dissuade the other party from enacting tariffs on our goods. People will realize very quickly that they elected somebody who Donald Trump is not intimidated by. And when counter-tariff price increases start to take effect on everyday goods that you purchase and you start to piece the two together that money is tax, you will look back and wonder, why did I vote for Mark Carney again? Good luck, everyone.
I realize I'm just a peasant in this election. I only have my one vote. I don't have a social media following. I don't have really any influence over anyone. But I'm just not going to stand here and let Mark Carney and the Liberals destroy our country. We really only have one option, and that's to go conservative. And if you're thinking that, hey, Carney's going to be different than Trudeau, like, let's just look at the last 10 years. Housing is terrible. There's homelessness everywhere. Opioid crisis is insane. Food prices, inflation. There are literally homeless people all around. I go for runs and I am running by people with camps and with trailers, and they're just like hanging out there, and it'll be like behind some grocery store, and there's garbage and crap everywhere. And dude, they're probably just crapping in the woods. Like, it's absolutely disgusting what has happened to this country in the last 10 years, all because of the Liberal government and Trudeau and Carney. And it's not going to change, regardless of whatever Carney says. It's just not going to change. It's going to be the exact.
Someone explain to me why the boomers hate Canada so much. They're the ones who elected in Justin Trudeau, and they are the ones who are going to vote for Carney this time around. The stats show that most young people want change. They want less tax. They want less government. But that these old, lazy, entitled pricks want more Liberal government, more tax, and more debt for Canada. I don't understand it. And I know there's going to be a few of you in the comments who say, you know, I'm not with them. I'm conservative. Great. Thank you. But the reality is most of these boomers are totally out of touch. They bought their houses back when we could afford them. They got their job back when they got a pension. They got their 3 vaccines, so they can't even think clearly anymore. And they are the ones who want more debt for Canada. They want more government. They want more social policy. They want more censorship. And they want more CBC News. I don't get it.
I knew people were leaving Canada, but I had no idea that it was this bad. It's at a record high right now, as I'm sure a lot of people can understand. But I just have a question. Where are people going, and what was that process like actually leaving? Was there a certain moment where you said, I'm just done. I'm just genuinely curious. This channel's not political, so just let me know in the comments.
Taxes are going up in 2025, and here's what they all include. Income tax to anybody who makes over $64,000 per year. Payroll deductions, CPP and EI. Carbon tax is also going up, as well as the alcohol tax.
If you're a Canadian, I'm sorry, but you're getting screwed. There's my son and my wife having a great time on the beach, barefoot, chilling, walking around with the dog. Life is honestly just way better than living in Kingston, Ontario. As a Canadian who's doing business in the US and filing for my visa to live in the US, I'm gonna give you 3 reasons on why you gotta get out and join me in Florida. Number 1, first and foremost, the weather, the beach, the palm trees everywhere. You gotta get out. Canada is just sickening. There's lack of vitamin D. Everybody's negative and feels like shit for 8 months a year. It's not worth it. Number 2, the access to money. Right behind me, these houses are $30 to $50 million. The money down here is just bigger. The economy moves faster. You can scale your business way faster. And last but not least, taxes. Taxes in Florida are 25 to 27% if you're a corporation, and they kind of top out no matter how much money you make. Whether you make 400 grand a year, 800 grand a year, 3 million a year, you're topping out around the 27% if you know what you're doing. In Canada, you're paying 54, baby. So if you want to follow Canadian's journey, living in the US, getting my visa, building my business in the US, hit me a follow and I'm going to show you a ton.
Well, there you have it. I guess we should be congratulating everyone that voted Liberal. They got a minority government. Not going to say I'm disappointed, but I am. I really am. That election was won by 3 different things, and Donald Trump definitely was the biggest influence on that election. And I think it's wrong. We talk about political interference. We talk about, Russia interfering with American election. They accuse that. Well, Donald Trump would be our Russia, really. Without Donald Trump, I honestly think the Liberal Party would not have won that election, plain and simple. They used fear. The fear of Trump, the fear of tariffs. And you all fell for it. You were warned. The worst is yet to come. So the only people that can be blamed is you, the voter, because the taxes are going up. If you think that carbon tax is going to disappear, it's not going to happen. It's just not. They're going to go up. Our gas prices will probably be back up to $1.50 a liter by summer. Industrial carbon tax is going to go up. He said it. He said it many times that Canada doesn't pay enough carbon tax, and you guys didn't listen. My kids will continue to not be able to afford a home. I don't care what he says. He's going to build these small modular homes. Well, I'm sorry, that's not going to work. You know, besides the homelessness and the opioid crisis in this country, it's all going to increase. But most of all, for you in Toronto that voted Liberal, that kept this Liberal government in power, even though it's a minority, and to Quebec, crime is going to continue to skyrocket. You had an opportunity to stop crime on your streets. Home invasions, they're daily in Toronto. Carjackings, robberies, muggings, assault. You could have stopped it. You could have at least, you know, brought the numbers down, but you didn't. And you had an opportunity and you blew it out of fear. You're going to brag that Carney is the person to deal with Donald Trump, but let's be realistic. What is he going to do? What is he going to do? Is he going to flex his muscle?